Justin, any updates on what's next for you? I know Conor's been brought up to you. You obviously have your eye on that lightweight title fight coming up.
Yeah.
Any other names across your path?
No, not outside Khabib or Tony. There's really not any names outside there.
Have you spoken to Dana White, Sean Shelby, McMahon about what's next to you? Like, have you spoken to them personally?
Nope. No, I've never really. I've maybe had 2 personal conversations with Dana in my life. A lot of fighters have his number and stuff, but I really, he's my boss, and I respect him as my boss. But yeah, I haven't had a conversation with him about that or anything.
And after Conor's fight, he made a comment that you guys need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, even though you haven't talked to him, do you feel like you're approaching that where you guys are almost on the same page? Or
I just need the book first, so I can turn to the page. I don't know. I don't even know what book he's reading. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think, he's the boss. So, he has to make really, really hard decisions, and every time that happens, he's either he's making somebody's day and he's ruining somebody's day. So he's in a bad spot. But a great spot. He's making a lot of fucking money.
And how much longer do you feel like you can be in this kind of limbo situation? Do you think you'll ever reach a point where it's like, man, I just got to take a fight? No,
I won't allow myself to be sold short, I guess I should say. No, I absolutely, I'm three first round knockouts in a row. 8, at the time, in hindsight, Vic wasn't a big win, but at the time I was coming off, two losses in a row. It was a huge fight for me. He was 8-1, 9-1 in the UFC before I touched him, and now it's different. But Edson Barboza's is a killer. Cowboy Cerrone's a killer. So yeah, I don't know what else they want me to do. I'm not gonna get on my knees. I'll tell you that.
Have you found yourself in this position before where you're kind of in this weird limbo state of you don't have a fight booked and you don't know what's on the horizon, or is this uncharted water for you?
This is the name of the game. There's a lot. It's a whole lot of nothing, and then action, and then back to nothing.
Sure.
I fight. It's going to be almost 8-9 months now. So it's very hard to stay focused, but ultimately I know I'm going to have a fight, and I know it's going to be a big fight. So if I'm not ready, or if I make the choices to not be ready now, I will never forgive myself.
What did you make of that fight between Conor and Cowboy? A lot of people criticized the matchup, considering you had just knocked off Donald Cerrone, and they had a really fast turnaround to fight Conor McGregor in a higher weight class.
What did I think about it?
Yeah. Like in terms of the actual fight, how it played out and everything.
Yeah. I think Cowboy starts slow, and Conor's a very intelligent fighter. I knew he was going to come out, 1,000 miles an hour, and that's exactly what he needed to do. And so, it was a great fight. I think we need Conor McGregor. The sport needs Conor McGregor. He needed to go in there. He needed to win. He could have fought me, but he doesn't. You can't lose how you lose to me and be Conor McGregor no more. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, he looks in the mirror. Hopefully, somebody's to tell him that he has to fucking legitimize his spot in the eyes of the people. You can't look in the mirror and be happy when you know the people are shit at you.
Has there been any indication to you as to why this fight hasn't had the wheels start turning? Do you think it's a money thing? Do you think it's an interest thing, a logistics thing?
I think the April 18th fight is a big factor. If Khabib wins, Conor knows that he's not going to get that match unless he does something to earn it. And so he's going to fight me if Khabib wins. And if Tony wins, he's going to fight Tony, because that's how it works.
In the last Dominance Media Day we spoke, and you seemed more interested in fighting Khabib and to test your skill set, whether the belt was on the line or not. Is that still the case with you?
Absolutely, man. I started at 4 years old. You think any of this was part of that? When I was 4, it was pure competition, and it's been pure competition since then. I surround myself with people that I trust, because the mindset that I have, I cannot trust myself to make smart decisions. I'm going to make, the hard decisions and take the dumb routes. But that's how I got here, and luckily I have all the Trevor.
Now, you've said that Conor, if he's going to fight Khabib, needs to go through you because you're in line. Has this been, and since you and Khabib are managed by the same company, has this been discussed with your management that should be the place of events?
So I know, just like all of you, that I've never heard Khabib say something and then not follow through with that. You know, there's a lot of fighters that you can't say that for. He is one of the very few. You know, I don't even know if I can say it about myself. But that's one of the very few men that I've experienced that with. I've never heard him say something and not come through with it. So I do not believe he will fight Conor if Conor does not. He's not getting the next shot. There's no way without going through me. Without going through me, he can go through Poirier. He can do anything. You know, do it the right way. It's not that hard.
So as Ali said, he's not fighting Khabib until he does fight somebody like you or Poirier?
Again, I heard it straight from Khabib's mouth. You know, so Ali doesn't necessarily have to tell me, but you know, you guys have no idea. You know, there's so many untold. You know, I wanted the Conor. You know, whatever. When I fought Cowboy, that's not the fight I was looking for at the time. He knew that, and he knew that. You know. So he said, "Don't pay me no money." So he literally took not a dollar from that fight because, you know, and I know that if somehow, some way, Khabib did fight Conor next, you know, then he would go to war for me because that's his job, you know, and that's what he has to do, and I trust him to do that.
One final one. I didn't get your take up there, but what do you make of open scoring, like knowing the score between rounds?
I think it's irrelevant for the fighter. I think it's probably cool for the fans. I think they should almost have like somewhere you could vote as a fan right there, you know, just for fun. But ultimately, I think to fix the scoring system, I mean, there's so many routes you could take. But for me, I think bias is number one, and it's the atmosphere. You know, how do you take the human nature out of, you know? So I think maybe you take them out of the arena, you put them in the back. And I think for me, I think that's maybe a start, but I honestly don't know. It's going to be trials and tribulations because I love how it's going. I don't want to see the score. I don't think it matters. You know, I'm trying to finish them no matter what. Whether I'm ahead 4-0, it does not matter. You know, I want to get for one the bonus because that's actual money, and I want to knock people out.
What if they use the entire 10-point scoring system? Israel Adesanya is saying if I just beat a guy from beginning to end for a whole round, that should be a 10-2, not a 10-9. Like, would you like to see that more than?
No, I mean, you can't add too many factors because then it just becomes way too difficult.
Right.
These guys, you know, they're already having a tough time, and I don't blame them. You know, it's absolutely impossible to be in that. Or they are called the hype machine. You know, the UFC is the hype machine. So if you are a human, you are in there, you will get caught up in it. And I believe that needs to be taken away somehow. But there's, you know, it's also if you're in the back, you don't hear the shots. You can't really tell. All the shots kind of look the same. You know, unless they're head snapping or not snapping, you don't really know. You know how hard we're hitting. As a judge sitting next to a cage, you could see, you know, the damage. You could, by hearing it, and so I don't know what the fix is. I really don't.